Hello, welcome and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at the collapse or supposed collapse of the Maryland Bridge. When I had first seen reports of what was going on, I assumed that that's precisely what it was. They say that a ship lost its power and hit one of the columns of the Maryland Bridge and it collapsed. And that's what I believed had happened until I took a look at the footage of the bridge collapse in real time. The movement of the ship, the points when the power goes out, and the way that it collapses, it gave me chills. I literally got goosebumps and chills when I watched the footage because something, alarm bells went off. Like something didn't sit right with me about it because I watched the bridge collapse at the rate of free fall in real time, second by second. Now, if any of you are engineers or architects or just have any knowledge of basic physics, then you know that in order for something to fall at the rate of free fall, then that means that there can be no resistance except for gravity and wind resistance. From a purely scientific standpoint, from what I saw, it seems impossible to me that that bridge collapsed on its own, because the only way that a structure of that magnitude, can collapse at the rate of free fall is with some sort of demolition, an explosive, some catalyst. Something does not collapse that way on its own. And it was very, very eerily reminiscent of the Twin Towers 9/11 collapse, which didn't make any sense at all. So we're going to get into all that. Let's take a look at the footage together, and then you guys let me know what you think really happened. In the comments below, hit that like button if you like my vibe and that I'm speaking the truth. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell because you don't want to miss one thing, and leave me your comments down below. My name is Rose, and this is The Real Truth. Observe, observe, observe. The boat is about to hit the column. Here it goes, here it goes, here it goes. It pivots, hits the beam, but that fall is not normal. The way that that bridge collapsed is not normal. And here it comes in slow motion. This is from the account D. Piero Gaston off of Instagram. The person in the video claims to be a demolitions expert. So while I cannot verify the veracity of him being a detonation expert, his analysis stands correct. It's the same affirmations that I made, the same conclusions that I drew, because I'm a tactical expert in explosive and demolition.
I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do.
And so we see how a small detonation, there it is, a second one over here, there it is, and the entire bridge falls in a chain. Small detonations, micro detonations can be seen. Here's another one. Here's another one you're gonna see. Here's another one coming now. You're about to see it. Did you see? It continues along here and then collapses the entire structure. Understand that this reminds me of what happened on 9/11. Those detonations are why the entire structure collapses, and they demonstrate it to you. On video, it's impressive the way that they actually show it to you, because this video is available anywhere on the internet. Several detonations and micro detonations, and these are typically done by a specialized demolition team, because it's not possible that a boat hitting a beam will cause the entire bridge to completely collapse in that way, in free fall. As a demolitions expert, that would be my conclusion in watching this entire scene play out. The evidence is right there, and I'd like to see the beams. I would like to see the way that the beams are cut, because that would be proof that it was demolished by an explosive. And if you think I'm exaggerating, you'll see in these following days this is going to be revealed. It's going to be revealed. It's more than evident what really happened here and what's to come. We'll look at some demolitions experts as well as engineers a little bit later on to see what they have to say about the 9/11 collapse, whether a building or a structure of that size can even collapse at the rate of free fall without a detonation being present. And then once we have a more scientific understanding from the experts, then we can go ahead and take a much closer look at the collapse from another angle, from a minute by minute basis to the trajectory that it took and why it just doesn't make any sense. And you guys can take a look and decide what you think for yourself.
I don't want to be involved in conspiracy theories. There are lots of them. They can go on. We can speculate on that forever.
Trade Center 7 collapsed because of fires fueled by office furnishings. It did not collapse from explosives or from fuel oil fires.
To undermine scientific integrity is to undermine our democracy.
This is what NIST has done, denied and ignored crucial evidence.
More than 1,500 architects and engineers and 12,000 others have signed the petition calling for a scientific investigation of the destruction of the Twin Towers. The report, issued by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, referred to as NIST, was not valid science.
Building number 7 descended in free fall for the first 100 feet, which means that there was absolutely no resistance to the descent whatsoever.
So all of the columns really needed to be severed at the same time.
The symmetry is the smoking gun.
NIST has admitted it went into free fall for 8 stories.
You don't need to be an engineer or an architect to see what happened to those buildings.
Dit is controlled demolition.
Zeker weten.
Zeker weten.
What I saw, it was a classic implosion. The center of the core, the penthouse area, starts to move first, and then the building follows along with it.
NIST excluded the document from FEMA in Appendix C that documented the evidence of melting steel.
In an office fire, you cannot generate enough heat to melt steel.
There were these iron microspheres present in all of the dust samples. They needed to have been formed in extremely high temperatures.
Beams that were actually found tell me that thermite was involved in melting those steel beams.
In the dust, what we have found is a modern version of thermite, which we call nanothermite.
NIST concedes that they found no evidence for explosives. So then we asked them, well, did you look? And they said, no, we did not look for explosives or residues of explosives.
We have watched as scientific integrity has been undermined and scientific research politicized in an effort to advance predetermined ideological agendas.
If this is a crime, I think everybody agrees it's a crime. Evidence was removed from the scene of the crime. You can't do science when you are deprived of the evidence and when your hypothesis is the least valid instead of the most likely. And the most likely hypothesis in the case of Building 7 wasn't even mentioned. This is not science.
So they say, here they say it's about to crash. It didn't have to crash. So it says it lost power for 1 minute. Okay? It wasn't going to crash anywhere if it had kept going straight. The power returned at 125. Now let's look at what does the boat do then at 125. It starts to pivot, just as the gentleman said. So we see smoke coming from it. Right now it has power. Why didn't they just keep going straight? It would have missed the column completely. But no. So it loses again and it pivots. So why couldn't it just go straight? If it had gone in any other direction, it would not have hit that column. So let's read it what this says again. So the power returned at 1:25 a.m. So instead of continuing straight, smoke is seen coming from the funnel. Okay, why didn't they just let it keep flowing? No. They decided that they're going to pivot as the lights go out. So they just have to pivot as the power goes out. They couldn't have just let the boat slowly drift towards the edge, because it wouldn't be much better for it to hit the edge of whatever is behind their construction or whatever than to collapse the bridge. That just, it makes so much sense. Let's keep looking at it. So the lights come back on at 1:27 and it pivots. just to make sure that it hit the column. And then look at that collapse. Okay. Alright. Okay, so let's take a look at the collapse in real time. They say a section. So this is the moment a large section of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore collapsed. Now they say that this is a partial bridge collapse. I don't know if we're looking at it's like a totally different thing. I don't mean to laugh because, you know, there are 6 men here that lost their lives, and we'll see where that construction crew was located. And there's also a lot more that goes into this because somebody warned someone of what happened. So I know the bridge, the boat lost power, and they were able to get a message, or someone was able to see what was happening. I think it was this construction crew that announced that they saw the power go out, or they were able to like let them know that the power had gone out or something like that. But whatever the intentions were, they were able to clear the bridge, and you'll see the cars still going by like moments before. So I see that as divine intervention. There's no partial collapse. The entire bridge falls in real time. We'll take a look at it. So they're saying that it was caused by a ship. Now you see, and we're going to go by the minute play, because for a minute it goes out, then it comes back on. It pivots towards there, hits it, and look at this instantaneous collapse. And you can see the light. 1 detonation, 2 detonation in the middle, a third over here. You see the sparks? And it all collapses. It doesn't even collapse in like a concave. It should have gone towards, like fallen slowly towards, as maybe the parts of it snap and go down. Not in free fall. Like that's insane. So I don't know about you guys, but I've certainly seen enough to know that there is something really strange going on there. I don't know if it has something to do with a distraction that they were trying to create before CERN turns on their whatever on April 8th of this year, which is in a few days. I think they're trying to open the portal to hell. Maybe they were trying to distract us because, honestly, had that bridge collapsed in the way that I believe was intended, everyone would be completely horrified. Not to mention the upsurge of energy that would give out had people had malicious and horrible intentions. Had that been the case, the death of all those people, the sadness that we would feel, the distraction from what's going on in the world, from potentially what CERN is trying to do, and Elon Musk ties to that. If you're interested in that, check out my next video. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.